In 2010, I weighed 280 pounds, working at my current job that I still work at. I've been there for 9 years at a rehab center. All the time I was around therapy and listening to people talk about addiction. And so I was noticing that obviously I had an addiction to food at 280 pounds. But when it really hit me that I needed a change, was on a family vacation. We went out to Florida. It's a pretty famous picture that I have that I show whenever I'm doing motivational speaking, talking about this, of me standing next to a sign that says I'm too fat to sit in the regular seats. And you know, we played it off, and I'm kind of like making a goofy picture. I'm like standing next to the sign with my arm on it. But anybody who's struggled with obesity or with being overweight, you know that's not a funny situation, and it's not anything that you're really proud of, that you're not considered normal anymore. They have to make special accommodations for you. I grew up playing football. I was an offensive lineman, so everyone said it's okay to be big. You know, you can be overweight because you're athletic and you're just built. And you know, people would make excuses for me to be big. But after that experience, I went and I started to reevaluate my life. You know, at this point in my life, I knew I needed to lose weight. I knew that the way I was living my life wasn't healthy, and I knew I wanted to change. I needed something, and this experience with the roller coaster was that thing that made the change. So on January 1st, you know, first day of the year, I made my resolution I was going to lose weight, and I just got on the treadmill and just did what I could do. And I'm pretty sure that, you know, it was a half hour on a full incline, and I walked at a, you know, decent pace, and after a half hour I was done. And then at the peak of my exercising, it was an hour on the treadmill, an hour on the bike, and an hour swim. So I was doing 3 hours of cardio a day and eating 1,200 calories a day. In 5 months, I'd lost 100 pounds. That was the moment when I realized anything I put my mind to, I can do. Like there's nothing that can stop me, and everything is a mindset. If you tell yourself you can't lose weight, you're not going to. If you tell yourself that you're going to succeed, if you tell yourself you're going to make it, you're going to do it. And that was the manifestation right there, that I put my mind to something, I said I was going to do it, so I went and did it. At that point, I just stopped taking no for an answer. Whenever someone said I can't do something, whenever everyone says that's going to be hard, I stopped listening to other people. The other monumental point in my life where I decided it was time to make a change was the birth of my daughter. The moment that I held my daughter, I just said, okay, just like when you lost the weight, it's time to take charge. It's time to just do it. So I became obsessed with motivational speakers and entrepreneurs and listening to people who have made it and been successful and what they did. And the person that I'll give all the credit to and why I decided to build this website and what I decided to put into myteamtrainer.com and Undefeated by Choice was Gary Vaynerchuk. There's two major things that he taught me in all of his content that he puts out. Don't focus on your weaknesses. So many of us focus on our weaknesses. We focus on the things that are hard for us to do, and we want to make them strong. He said, don't worry about that, and triple down on the things that you're good at. You know, I started to contemplate, like, what am I good at? My whole life has been athletics. I've just always been around athletes. I decided that was my strength, being able to work with athletes. The second thing that he talks about is to add as much value you can into anything you do. Give as much away that you can for free, so that the people that you're giving your free content away to feel guilty that you've given them so much, they give back. You don't need to charge for every little thing you do, to just give because it's the right thing to do. When I built the website, that was my main focus. That everybody I worked with and everybody I talked to, we said, we're putting the athletes first. So in building the site, we decided, my main thought is, what is it that I can offer these athletes? So obviously the first thing was the actual workouts themselves. You know, I've been doing this for 12 years. I've been training athletes and working on speed and agility, strength and conditioning. I've developed my own mindset of what I feel best makes an athlete. I've worked it on myself. At the age of 30, I decided to do an MMA fight. And, you know, I would go and I would train with my partners. They would go home, and then I would go to the gym and continue my workout. Part of my mentality is to just always put in more work than the other guy. I know so many people look for the secret recipe. They look for the secret workout. You know, that's not my mindset. My mindset is to just outwork them. The workouts I build, they reflect that mentality. They're hard. When everyone else goes home, you're still out there working. And then I wanted to make them accountable for what they're doing and the effort they're putting in. So we built it so that the coaches can now track you. So if you know your coach is watching you, you're going to put in the effort because you want to impress the coach. A website that gives you workouts and is able to track, people have created that before. I didn't reinvent the wheel doing that, but I wanted to give it something special. In the past year, I started doing motivational speaking. I realized I have something to tell. I have a story to tell. And I have a story that can reach people and people can relate to, because I didn't grow up with money. People can relate to that. I didn't grow up with good genetics. People can relate to that. I just grew up with a drive. I grew up with an ability to say, this is what I'm going to do, and then go do it. And I think everybody has experienced that a little bit in their life, and they can see themselves doing it, and they start to accomplish things on their own. The mental exercise is just as important as the physical exercise. So I've added that in there. There's affirmations that you have to tell yourself every day to start to believe in yourself, that whatever you put your mind to, you can accomplish it, you can get it done. I'm going to be going out to teams and these athletes and giving motivational speeches and talking to them, then loading that content onto the website so that everybody can have it, not just the people that I'm in front of. Because again, what value can I bring? What value can I bring to you? Well, if you can sit at your computer and get motivated to get up and go do your workout and become a better athlete, well, then I've done my job. I didn't want to charge so much money that no one can afford it. I want to get a bunch of athletes and charge them a little bit of money. I wanted to make it accessible to everybody. I didn't want to leave anybody out. I remember while I was coaching, we'd have these kids that were just a few steps away from being absolute all-stars, and I would be like, if we could just get this kid a little bit of training, if we get this kid a little bit of footwork drills, if we can a little, but then I would look at him in his financial situation, and there was no way that kid would be able to afford a trainer. And that's unfortunate that we have these kids that are just so close to breaking out and getting out of their situations that they're in, but because they don't have the money to do so, they can't do it. So I didn't want to leave those kids behind. And I thought, this is a value I can bring. I can reach out to those kids. I can help those kids out. My whole goal is to just stay true to the athletes.
Who is a champion? I'm a champion! Who is a champion? I'm a champion! Who is a champion? I'm a champion! That's right, you are. Royals on three! 1, 2, 3, Royals!
We're all going to suffer losses in our lives, but defeat is a choice. Being defeated is a choice. And when I decided to lose the weight, when I decided to start this company, when I decided to do the MMA fight, I just decided that I was never going to let anything defeat me, that things were going to get in my way, and that I was going to suffer little setbacks and little losses, but I was never going to let anything defeat me, that whatever I put my mind to was what I was going to do. And that's what I want to instill in all of my athletes, anybody who works with me, anybody who does any of my exercises, that they understand that, yeah, wins and losses come every single day. You win battles and lose battles every single day, but the defeat comes when you've decided that you're going to lose, that you've decided that you've lost, and that you've decided that you can't win. And that's just not the athletes that we're going to work with. We want to work with everybody who believes in themselves. And so Undefeated by Choice is the motto, it's the brand, and it's what we live by.